Welcome to the deep dive. We take fascinating source materials and really pull out the key insights just for you. Today, we're doing something a bit different, I think, really quite extraordinary. It's a deep dive into game design, but one that goes way beyond just mechanics. It's into personal symbolism. Our sources explore a custom League of Legends team comp and even a hypothetical champion concept, both built around this really symbolic persona. So it's not just strategy talk. It's about how games can be, well, these powerful canvases for expression.
That's spot on. Yeah, we're looking at this document about a team called the Veiled Choir
Uh-huh.
and a champion concept, Tira, the Lantern of the Forgotten.
Hmm.
And our goal really is to see how game design itself can express complex, emotional, even philosophical ideas. It's kind of a fascinating shortcut, to understanding how strategy, story, and self-expression all mix together in gaming.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. As you first looked at the source, what really jumps out? What's the immediate thing?
Um, I'd say the intentionality, just the sheer level of deliberate thought. This isn't just like picking 5 good champions. It's a narrative. It feels meticulously crafted, using game mechanics to talk about deep emotional states. It really pushes the boundaries of what you normally expect from, competitive team design.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. This veiled choir, it's framed as more than a team. It's like a composition, right? Each member a voice in this bigger symphony. A symphony of memory, grief, and transcendence, the source says. It's just way more profound than just picking the current meta, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. And that core identity, it's woven into everything. The name itself, the Veiled Choir, it suggests something hidden but harmonious. And the tagline, "We do not scream, we echo." That points to a quieter but maybe more lasting impact.
And the symbol they mention, the moth around a lantern.
Right, which the source explains represents transformation through darkness, quiet persistence, wisdom that sort of gently illuminates rather than blinding you. It's a really potent metaphor for Tira, the central persona we'll get to.
So if the team's a symphony, then each champion is like an instrument playing their part in this resonant score. It really makes you think about the echo each character brings, doesn't it? Okay, let's break down the team. Topping first, we've got Swain, described as the visionary general. He embodies strategic patience, distilling truth from chaos, reflecting emotional and philosophical dissonance. So not just a bruiser, he's tactical.
Yeah, and his role as this general who reveals truths instead of just fighting fits perfectly. It's about control, revelation, like a calm eye in the storm, fits the theme of uncovering deeper realities.
The jungle, Fiddlesticks, which is quite a choice thematically.
It's a choice, yeah.
The source calls him fear incarnate, a mirror of the subconscious, representing repressed emotion, trauma, shadow memory. It even explicitly calls him the Jungian shadow archetype for this Tira persona, which, for anyone listening, that's the unconscious, often darker stuff we push down. It's chillingly apt for Fiddle, and you hear it in those echoes they mention, like curse to die or clap your hands.
Well, what's fascinating is Fiddlesticks isn't just a monster here. He's a reflection of what's unhealed, what's hidden inside. He listens in the haunted quiet, embodying that idea that our fears, our traumas, they can just emerge with terrifying clarity. It's a really clever use of a scary character for symbolic depth.
Okay, moving mid. We have Karma, the philosopher heart,
Right.
anchored in spiritual duality, symbolizing a journey from passive reflection to assertive grace. The source says she balances the wisdom onion, an interesting phrase, specifically at center of paradox and presence.
Kara really feels like the emotional and spiritual anchor here. She represents integrating conflict, moving from inner thought to outward action. She's that vital bridge, embodying what the source calls relational wisdom for the team.
At ADC, we have Varus, detailed as grief-stricken, carrying multiple souls, bound by vengeance and memory.
Yeah, that duality is key for him. Sacred archer versus corrupted spirit. It connects to themes of like enduring struggle, ancient pain.
The source calls him elegant, mournful, driven by an ancient wound.
He brings that deep lament, that sense of unresolved pain that echoes the whole team's story. His own internal conflict mirrors the team's theme of confronting and maybe transforming difficult memories.
And finally, support, Morgana, described as a direct emotional twin to Tira, a fallen protector, a priestess for the broken, the misunderstood.
Her rebellion is key too. It's against divine authority, but born from compassion. And her chains aren't just literal, they're metaphors, right? For resisted constraints.
Yeah, and the source stresses how she shelters pain, gives it meaning, That's different from just healing it like, say, Soraka.
Exactly. So if you pull all these champion archetypes together, what you get is this really comprehensive picture of Tira's layered identity. It's a convergence, the source says, of silence and strength, pain and purpose. Each champion choice highlights a different facet of her. It feels less like a random team, more like a carefully built psychological portrait. It really shows how even team selection can become this symbolic narrative. Strategy is emotional storytelling.
So, okay, with all that thematic weight, what does it actually mean for how the Veiled Choir plays the game? How does this stuff translate onto the Rift?
Well, their playstyle is described as slow tempo with explosive turns, like an unfolding revelation.
Interesting.
The early game is reserved, very methodical, focused on vision control and what the source calls emotional calibration, which sounds like they're being deliberate, setting the stage, not rushing, preparing, building towards something bigger.
Right. And each champion adds to that vision. Swain gives top lane stability, scaling, mirroring Tira's emotional anchoring.
Yeah.
Fiddlesticks, the terrifying jungler, lurks in hidden spots. His ultimate is a reckoning, like trauma emerging.
Ooh, yeah. A sudden burst of clarity or terror.
Karma brings balance, burst, her shields and tethers symbolizing relational wisdom in fights. Varus, the ADC, offers long-range presence, haunting DPS. And his build apparently flexes between lethality, like emotional detachment, and on-hit, like steady endurance.
That's a nice touch.
And Morgana protects everyone. Her black shield is like a literal manifestation of emotional boundaries, blocking incoming stuff.
And their win condition is really where it clicks. They excel in these layered, drawn-out fights where patience wins. Their strength isn't brute force. It's resonant timing, like a page unfolding from a journal.
Wow.
It makes clear the strategy is more orchestration than domination. Every play is a verse. Every fight is a memory. It's really trying to elevate strategy beyond just tactics.
The source even highlights these emotional archetypes in synergy. Swain and Morgana, the judge and the priestess, Fiddlesticks and Varus, the shadow and the lament.
Right.
And Karma as the bridge, weaving it all together, unity, reflection, renewal.
It's like a little psychological drama playing out in the game. Their collective state influences the gameplay, and the gameplay flow supports that. Early game. Survive, scale, get vision. Fiddle's ult is that potential crescendo. Mid to late game. Group up for objectives. Fiddlesticks becomes the flashpoint for team fights.
Makes sense.
They're good against fragile backlines, poke comps, in vision fights where they control the setup. But they're weak to heavy, early aggression, split push pressure. And if they get forced into fights they don't choose, they can struggle. They rely on their setup.
So it all reinforces that identity. A scaling composition, thriving on grouped gameplay, a 5-piece harmony where, as the source says, no one outshines, but everyone echoes.
It's just an incredible amount of thought packed into a team concept. Okay, now let's shift to the champion concept itself. Tira. Tira, the Lantern of the Forgotten. And that tagline, I don't erase the past, I listen to it. That's where it gets really interesting, looking at her actual abilities.
Yeah. Tira's identity and aesthetic are really something. Envisioned as support, maybe flex mid, primarily magic utility, visually. Shadowed robes, glowing memory runes, a staff like a lantern from a fractured crotch, and faint whispering voices around her when she's still, like echoes. Her passive even has a spectral moth visual, tying back to that symbol.
Right, the transformation symbol. She draws inspiration from Morgana, Karma, Senna, Bard, but creates something new. Mortal memory given form. The whole feel is described as Gothic, candlelit cathedral meets crumbling diary pages. Ancient wisdom, lingering stories.
So her abilities must be where this theme of memory and processing emotion really shines through mechanically. How does that symbolism play out for the person actually playing her? Let's start with the passive, Echoes of the Unsaid. When she heals, shields, or roots, a memory echo lingers and repeats a lesser effect if triggered.
Yeah.
Visually, a glowing ribbon, a reminder, as the source says, the past returns if you only know where to listen. So the mechanic literally brings past actions back.
It's brilliant, yeah. How even basic interactions carry that weight. It sort of teaches you, the player, to think about the lingering effects of your actions, just like memory.
Okay, her cue, fractured sentence. A spectral line roots 1 or 2 enemies. Longer root if only one target is hit. But here's the twist. It gives a small shield if cast through an ally. So it's a root that's poetic, context sensitive, reflecting broken links or maybe supportive words.
That ability makes you think, doesn't it? How many game abilities really change based on who they interact with, creating that nuance? It's not just a spell, it's like a statement about context and impact.
Her W is Quiet Space, a circular zone of calm. Allies get bonus resistances, healing. Enemies inside deal less damage. Their movement abilities have delayed casts.
Interesting disruption.
And after it ends, Tira can pick up a memory fragment to reduce her own cooldowns.
So it's defense, disruption, and sustain all wrapped up. A sanctuary.
Yeah, it feels like creating that moment of stillness in the chaos, embodying that emotional calibration idea we saw with the team. Time to reflect, recover. Very tactical.
Okay, what about her E?
E is Thread of Grace. It's a tether. Grants an ally movement speed and damage mitigation. Or, if on an enemy, it slows and silences them.
Dual purpose, nice.
And completing the tether gives Tira an Echo Shield. The quote sums it up. Grace isn't loud, it lingers.
And the ultimate, the R ability.
Right, Testament. This one's really unique, probably the core of her theme. She channels memory into an area, records all effects for 4 seconds.
Records them.
Yeah, and then replays them at 50% strength.
Whoa! So like a delayed echo of the fight itself.
Exactly. Described as a time-delayed crescendo, it could turn lost fights into poetic victories. Or, compound your mistakes if things went badly.
That's a powerful mechanic. A meta-commentary almost.
Right. On the consequences of the past, the statement for it is perfect. Every moment writes a line. I'm the one who reads it back.
So her whole strategic identity must be about that. Zone control, reversing tempo, protective layering.
That's exactly it. Strengths are anti-burst, controlling fight flow, dominating vision fights.
And weaknesses.
Long cooldowns, not very mobile, weak if she gets outpaced by aggressive teams.
Makes sense. Needs time and space to work.
She synergizes well with champions like Fiddlesticks, Swain, Seraphine, Kindred, Varus, others who appreciate setup or layering.
And countered by hard engage.
Yeah, Blitzcrank, Pike, heavy dive comps if she can't set up her zones properly.
And her lore ties this all together beautifully.
It really does. She's not from Runeterra, not from the main league world. She's a diary made flesh. Born from forgotten prayers, she visits battlefields to collect unsaid goodbyes, wounded truths.
Wow.
Her followers whisper to her when no one else is listening. And the sentiment, Tara doesn't save you. She holds your hand while you choose.
That's incredibly poignant. Speaks to that need for processing, for understanding, not just fixing. The Slumps even mentions an epitaph Tira skin concept.
Yeah. Moth wings of torn diary paper, golden ink abilities, soft organ tones for her ultimate, just reinforces the theme constantly.
And while she shares bits with Karma, Morgana, Senna, Bard, maybe even Swain, the source is clear that none quite blend that empathic resonance, existential depth, and emotional mechanics like Tara aims to.
She fills a unique niche, not just mechanically, but philosophically.
What an incredible deep dive this turned out to be. We've gone through just an astounding level of depths of creativity from the Veiled Choir team comp to Tira, this profoundly thematic champion.
Yeah, it really challenges what you think games can be, right? Showing how much intricate thought can go into creating these experiences that resonate, well, on a much deeper level.
It definitely makes you wonder, doesn't it? If a game can mirror such profound personal emotional landscapes through design, what other everyday things, what other experiences might be secretly mirroring our own complex internal worlds?
That is a powerful thought to leave you with. What veiled choir might you embody in your own life? What team dynamics reflect your inner world? Or maybe, what forgotten echoes do you need to listen to, like Tira listens for the unsaid? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.